Scoodly bop.
We're live.
Are we?
Buzzy bop, skitty bop. I ain't got nobody.
Okay. Well then.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode number 920 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me as always from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
It's warm. I'll tell you what.
Warm, huh?
It's warm. And I'll tell you, the worst part about this is
Yeah.
I was sitting here working because I work from home still the other day. My heat pump was cooling the air in my home.
Yeah.
And then I heard a noise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here next to me. And I looked over and it was like a waterfall coming out of the bottom of the heat pump.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
Too much fire, too much water. You got to learn to moderate, man.
Yeah, I know. So that happened. So it's
Oh.
real hot in this room right now.
You
I
should
mean,
have
it's
tried
usually
to
hot when I'm in here anyway, but
time those two events so they would have happened at the same time. You wouldn't have had any problems.
Yeah.
So it's warm. I'm warm.
I'm
How are you?
sorry.
I'm also warm.
No, you're hot. And you have
Oh,
been
okay.
Mm-hmm.
in the 20 years I've known you. The 25 years I've known you.
Damn. Has it
God, it's
been
been
that
25 years.
long? Shit. Ugh.
That's a wasted life.
For both of us.
Not for me, baby. Every move, a precise, calculated win.
Yeah, and joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Filthy Ball.
That's me.
How's it going there, sir?
It's going just hunky dory.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. You're in a new place.
I am.
Different
Oh, right, I
surroundings
forgot.
around you.
I
You
have
got
him in
stuff
a
moved in
new.
there pretty fast.
My son has gone off to college. So I've taken his old bedroom and turned it into.
God, I can't wait till I get to do that.
No, my son did
Nice.
not. My son is in middle school. He's
You could be like Doogie Howser.
he's a much nicer person than Neil Patrick Harris. Don't worry about that.
I was talking about the character, not the actor.
Oh,
How did
You know, I
that
never
series
actually
age? Anyway, is it watchable now? Is it?
what's that?
Why
Duke?
have you?
I don't know.
Why do you think either of us would have tried to watch Doogie Howser in the last?
I didn't watch Doogie Howser the
20
first time
years.
around.
Oh, really?
Oh,
No.
I remember
did.
watching it every night, every time it was on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
No.
I don't even remember any of the plots really.
I just remember his best friend was his name Vinny, climbing in
Yeah.
through the window constantly,
Ah,
Yes, there was that.
I don't.
and then he would type his. Every episode would end with him typing his journal in his computer.
Oh, yes.
Because that's what you do. You use computers for
That's
for-
made me want a computer, so I could write Doogie's journal.
That's how you could tell Doogie was smart.
Yeah, because he used a computer.
Yeah, he didn't write with a pen and pencil and paper.
Poindexter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a nerd on a computer.
So yeah, you're in a new place here.
I am. We got a
Phil.
new room on the house is what actually happened.
I see. Okay.
And now it is
Phil ordered a
your-
new room from Big Bad Toy Store, and it finally showed up.
it was sitting in my pile of loot for a while.
Your nerd.
Now it's
room.
here. You'll note
Yeah.
right behind me, my big fat head hides Unicron through the power of
Show title.
depth perception and force perspective
Yeah.
And just big fat head.
and a big fat head. And got a shelf of Godzilla toys up there. I finally got to put my Godzilla toys out and about. I got my
Cool.
look. You can see my. That's, you know what that is?
Parappa
know what that
the
is?
Rapper toaster.
That is my Parappa the Rapper toaster.
God, you own a lot of weird shit.
I mean, everybody has one of those.
No,
Right?
no, they
You
don't.
know how long I had coveted that Parappa toaster?
A long time.
A long time, and I
Very long
finally,
Now you can display it to the internet,
yes,
and the world.
now everyone can bask in its glory.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So you're moving in, or you're moved in.
I
to your
moved.
new
I don't have You know,
So
at
a
the
little bit
moment,
of an echo there too.
there is a bit of an echo.
You need to get some of the
I'm
noise suppressing.
I'm hoping that stuff on the wall will help muffle some of that noise.
It definitely
maybe
will.
some carpet. You got some carpet?
I do not. I don't have carpet. These
That'll help.
you can see the floor
20
behind me.
It's
Yeah,
2024.
okay.
Nobody has carpet.
I'm not putting carpet in this.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Because when I'm down on the floor playing with my action figures, they're gonna fall over.
Well,
plus
that's
you get
a
all
good point.
the carpet in them and stuff and the joints. And it's
Yeah.
You might lose a Lego or two in the carpeting and
then you'll step on it later.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay.
So did your wife put a lock on the outside of the door, or
It's one of
are you
those.
even allowed to leave that room?
There's a couple of the chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of those out there. So
I see.
if I ask nicely enough, I'm let out to go to work on the weekdays.
Oh, you're only allowed out if you're earning. Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
I see.
I don't blame her.
Well,
No, it's a smart move.
I've known
Yeah,
you
yeah.
almost 30 years too. So
Yeah. You can see I'm still, I haven't, like I said, I haven't hung anything up,
yeah.
but unlike CJ, I'm not going to wait like 2 years to do it. You can see right behind me on my table that there's my Lego building table.
Yeah.
What for building Lego?
to be fair, I mean, what you've done isn't all that impressive. When I ask my kids to clean up, they generally just move the mess one room to another room anyway. That's really all you've done. So
Yeah, well, they got it figured out. You see what's here?
I do.
Oh boy, I gotta hang this up. I brought this in. It's my Lammy guitar.
It's your Jammer Lammy guitar.
Do you know how much guitar I know how to play?
0.
Let me see.
Give us some power chords.
Is this a chord? I don't know. I just put my fingers on the strings. You call these?
Yeah.
Now where do I
Frets.
blow into?
They're called frets.
Okay.
It's a fretboard. I only know that because Rock Band.
And it don't have this is an electric guitar. You put batteries in it, and it's got a little
speaker.
speaker built in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can't hear anything.
No.
You can't hear that. That's for
The
your.
best thing is most people listening to this can't see anything either.
That's for your benefit.
That's also true. Yeah.
It's a
All
lamb.
the
It's an Jammer Lammy guitar.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
It is. It's very nice.
Anyway.
Very nice.
But that's that's gonna get hung up. You'll see right behind me. Unicron there, next to the light switch. And this is gonna get hung up right above the light switch.
Very nice.
So it'll be hanging up. It'll look very nice.
It's very cool.
How you guys doing?
Doing
Warm.
great.
Anything
Warm.
exciting happened
Also.
lately?
Yeah. We could talk about some video game news if you like.
Like what?
Like, our good friend Benjamin Rivers.
Oh, he
You
is a
know
good
him
friend.
From question he sent to the show last week about Francis Mao's artwork. Turns out Mr. Ben Rivers is releasing a new game.
A new game?
That's right. Called
Tell me more.
Neo Harbor Rescue Squad.
Okay.
And if you watch the trailer, you can see that it is a paramedic action drama with mini games.
Yeah.
Where you are operating on patients and stuff like that. But it's also kind of a visual novel as well. It's a
You guys have
paramedic
been
action
operating on
drama.
my patients for 10 years.
Who has me?
I just said you guys.
Well, that's true. Okay.
He got us. He got us good, CJ.
He got us good. Yeah.
Yep.
So release date 2024. So it comes out this year. PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
I
It
will
has
play
a
that game.
Steam page up now, and it would be amazing if everybody went and added that to their wish list. I have already done so.
Oh, is there's a Steam page?
There's a Steam page, yes.
Yeah,
and I
should go add
know
that.
adding it to your wish list is a very important thing just for visibility.
Give me the full title again. Neo
Harbor Rescue Squad.
Neo Harbor Rescue Squad. I knew it was Neo something Rescue Squad.
And you know what? Just to
Yeah.
keep you guys from getting confused, he even spelled harbor the American way.
Oh, whew.
That's good.
Yeah, so you should be able to find it, no problem.
It's very good.
I mean, I'm speaking as a fellow Canadian, I'm a little disappointed in him, but I get it.
There we go.
Kind
Added.
of reminds me a little bit about Trauma Center. Those,
Right.
Yeah,
those games, but I really like the look. It's got a hand-drawn style to it. Really colorful, bright. Not like Home and Worse Than Death. A little bit of a departure tonally from those games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looks really great.
There we go. I just added it to my wish list.
Fantastic.
You're welcome, Benjamin.
Very excited about this.
No, that's great.
This is an exciting announcement. I hope all the best for Ben. Yeah.
Ben and Nancy.
Ben and Nancy. Bancy.
That's true.
Yes.
Nancy Co.
Yeah.
We'll have Nancy
right.
send in more questions to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell Ben, but she's our favorite anyway.
Well,
Yeah, that's true.
Ben's okay.
Sure. Well, let's see. What can we do to follow that one up? Hey, Aero the Acrobat's coming back.
Some other friends? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Here's our other friend, Aero the Acrobat, friend to all children
everyone loves Aero.
who rented Aero the Acrobat back in the day.
You want to know a secret
Is,
about Aero the Acrobat?
Here it comes.
Let's hear it. I think I may know this secret. Go ahead.
He's the one who killed Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. CJ just about choked on his drink.
Almost got you with that one, though, CJ.
Wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah.
I was expecting
Aero the Acrobat.
Arrow grassy
Something
knoll
different.
acrobat.
It's not a good game.
It's not, but it's not
no.
I wouldn't call it a bad game.
It's not bad.
It's just kind of a game.
It's just
It's a
it is-
mascot platformer from
Yeah.
the late
Back
80s,
when
early
that was
90s.
important.
it's absolutely there.
It is. Yes,
It
exactly.
exists.
Yeah.
It
And there was
plays
a
pretty
sequel.
uniquely. So
There was a spin-off.
sequel
Yeah.
and a spinoff. Yeah.
They were trying.
I had heard, I don't know if this is true. I had heard, and this was the true fact that I thought you were going to reveal, Phil.
What's that?
I had heard a story where it was a the president of Sunsoft, U.S. America.
Okay.
They needed a mascot platformer in the U.S.
Everyone did.
to compete,
Right.
and apparently it was his son who drew
Oh.
an acrobatic bat and Aero the Acrobat, and they handed that to the development team, and they made it a game.
Said, make something out of this.
Yeah, make
Doesn't
something out of
this
this.
didn't this game have some kind of connection with EGM? Wasn't it an ex-EGMer that worked on? I thought it was.
I don't think so.
What was the guy who was involved in Maximo?
David Siller?
Dave Siller. Wasn't he involved in
Possible.
Aero the Acrobat? I thought
That's
he was.
possible. That's possible.
That's Greg,
You may be right.
Yeah,
Just
he
so you know,
designed
Greg.
Aero the Acrobat. That CJ that story CJ just told was all bullshit.
It might be bullshit.
created
It might
by
be.
David Siller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
See, I thought that was the true fact you were actually going to say.
Sega16.com interview with David
It's
Siller.
exactly what popped up. Congratulations
Designer.
to Ken Horowitz on Sega16.com being the top return
Yeah.
on that query. But
There you go.
The original
Sushi
Sushi X from EGM.
Turns out that he was the president of Sunsoft's son that made the little
Oh my
drawing and said,
goodness.
"Here,
see,
make
that might be,
this."
we can't prove that wrong. We don't know. He was hired by their president, Joe Robbins. It was weird that he had a different last name.
A little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So CJ,
Yeah.
where did you get this lie?
I don't know if it was true. It was something that
Well,
had been
I could
passed.
tell you if it's true.
Well, tell me that it's not true.
It's not true. It's
not
David
true.
Siller.
Okay. All right. Well,
So where did this urban legend originate?
probably Andy Barron
That I believe.
or one of the old schooler EGMs, employees, editors. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Did you read
Yeah.
about this in Quarterman?
I'm no.
Is this
no, I
another one of
didn't.
those Quarterman rumors?
No.
Okay.
But so yeah, Aero the Acrobat coming to PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on August 2nd with all of the fun retro game trimmings where you can rewind and all of that save state stuff, screen filters if you like.
But it's just the first game.
Just the first game.
No Aero 2.
No.
No Zero.
The kamikaze squirrel.
The kamikaze
No,
squirrel.
but I mean those can't be far behind, right? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, fans will demand it.
You'd think there'd be a collection.
You make more money if you sell them all separately.
Good point, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if they're like $5 each,
Then put a collection out down the road
well, there you go. Yeah,
with
Okay.
limited run.
yeah, definitely.
Where's my punky skunk? Where's my high seas havoc?
Oh, High Seas Havoc. That's good.
Awesome.
That was a good game. Where's my awesome possum?
Awesome
Kicks
Possum.
Dr. Machino's butt.
But
Where's my
Sure.
Johnny Bazooka tone?
God, that game
Sure.
was terrible.
Yes,
Where's
it
my
was.
Lester the Unlikely?
So was
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's a terrible game. But hey, we are getting a revival of Double Dragon from Ukes.
Isn't there a revival of Double Dragon like
Yeah, I was
every
going to
year.
say,
every
like, I feel
13
like I
to
actually
14 months?
haven't even kept up with how many Double Dragons there have been in recent times.
Yeah.
Yeah, called Double Dragon Revive. This is being developed by Ukes, and it's a 3D brawler. And they put out a trailer that
Yeah.
you can watch on the YouTubes, and I mean, it looks like Double Dragon in 3D. I
It
don't
looks
know.
good.
Yeah. Weren't there? I mean, some of the revivals were good, but weren't some of them of?
Wasn't Neon really good? Wasn't that the one that was
I had
like
heard
that's-
Neon was good.
That's the way forward one. That one
That
was
was the one that-
pretty fun.
it was? It started out like kind of, I want to say mediocre. It just started out kind of plain, and then it just went crazy.
Yeah.
The further into the game you got, I think that was Neon.
Yeah.
And then there's been at least one more since then that I thought.
Well, there
not-
was
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. One. There we go. Double Dragon.
Double
4,
Dragon 4.
which got a Metacritic score of 49, so that went well.
Which one?
Double Dragon 4.
Oh yeah, Double Dragon 4 was terrible.
And 5 was the one-on-one fighting game, right?
Yeah, but that's an old one.
Yeah,
That's an
from
old
the
one.
90s.
Yeah. And then there was Double Dragon Gaiden,
Oh right. See, I knew there'd been more.
which that one's like the kind of roguelite game, which is actually that one's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So I guess most of the Double Dragon revivals have been decent,
Yeah, we're getting I mean, except for 4.
except for 4.
4 was
So out of
bad.
the 3 more contemporary Double Dragons,
Right.
only one of them wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
And now we'll see how this one goes with Ukes at the helm.
I hope it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm
And Ukes
optimistic.
used to be a developer of a lot of wrestling games.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
know about their 3D brawling chops, but I know they're kind of known for doing the dev work on some of the
A lot of the THQ
Earlier-
games, wasn't it?
3D wrestling games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have to see how that goes.
Did you see?
Yeah. What?
I'm going to point this out because it is tangentially related. It's not on our news. I'm going off script.
Go ahead, please do.
Hang on to your hats. Did you see the other beat 'em up game that was announced this week and they showed
Oh.
off a trailer?
I believe I did.
CJ, what am I talking about, CJ?
You're talking about the Karate Kid from.
I am
Game
talking about the
Mill.
Karate Kid.
Oh.
I didn't bother to put it on the outline because Game Mill.
Oh God.
But it looks, I mean, Game Mill, yes.
What license did they have previously that we were talking about? At one
Uh,
Son of Kong,
Yeah, that's what it was.
wasn't it? Or what was the game that wasn't it the game that had the still image that was the boss?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
That was
A Game
Kong.
Mill
Or
game?
no, it was Godzilla, wasn't it?
no, that was the Skull Island game.
Skull
Skull
Island. There we
Yeah.
go.
I remember thinking, I just love that they call themselves Game Mill. Like they're not even
I
hiding
know, right?
what they are.
Just cranking them out.
Yeah.
But no, there is a they have a trailer for it,
Yeah.
and
it
it's
doesn't
all
look terrible. Like the
well. That's the thing.
animation's
It's all like
okay.
it's that kind of pixel art. It's doing the kind of 16-bit pixel art style.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Maybe.
again, Game Mill is a big red flag,
Yeah.
but
I
maybe.
can't wait till you guys buy this and then report back on it.
Well, I'm not going to.
And there'll be
Phil,
zero surprise.
You mean Phil buying it?
You know what?
I'm not going to buy
I
it.
don't know if I'm going to buy it. For one, Game Mill.
Yeah.
Two,
But you have previously purchased Game Mill titles,
have I?
didn't you?
I don't know if I did.
Wasn't
I
that
didn't buy that Skull Island game.
You didn't? You
No.
didn't purchase it?
I did not. Did
I
not.
thought you did.
You know what? I'm looking through their list on their website of games, and I don't believe I bought any of these.
Okay.
Now I have bought. Was it Outright Games?
Yeah.
They're the ones who've made like the recent Transformers games
Okay.
that have all been not good. But
What about Cruise
know.
and Blast? Did you buy Cruise and Blast?
I did buy Cruise and Blast.
Oh, was that them?
Yeah.
I did buy Cruise and Blast.
Or at
So I
least they
take it back.
published the physical. I don't know if they did the digital version.
Yes, but so I do own one of their games.
Okay.
But Game Mill, not promising. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was never super into Karate Kid, even as a kid,
Me neither.
even
I've
when I
never
was
seen
age
the whole movie.
appropriate. No,
I mean, the first movie, I liked the first movie.
yeah, and I
Yeah. That was about it.
it's not like I disliked the first movie, but it was just like, yeah, it's there.
You watch any Cobra Kai?
I have not watched again because I didn't watch
Why
Cobra
would you?
Kai because I don't I don't have the nostalgia for it. So
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But also there's like a zillion damn beat 'em ups based on 80s properties
Well, that's
and
true.
90s coming out.
What's one
and,
that hasn't been announced yet?
What's that?
Are there any that haven't been announced yet? Beat 'em ups on 80s properties? Because there's a G.I. Joe,
Well, if they haven't been announced yet, I wouldn't know.
TMNT,
I mean, we got
Karate Kid. I mean,
we-
what more properties are there that have not been announced?
well, I mean, we're also getting there's the Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah.
Vigil Eclipse is doing the Power Rangers one, which looks really good.
Mhm.
There's that Toxic Crusaders
Toxic
one that's
Crusader,
coming out as
yeah.
well.
We need a Pirates of Darkwater game.
Yeah, we do.
There's no Pirates of Darkwater yet. There's no Transformers one, which is the real.
I'm shocked that there haven't been more Transformers games recently.
I know.
Didn't one
'Cause
just
it
get
seemed like
announced
for a
very
while there we
recently?
were getting them, but
Well, they were all the Activision ones,
Yeah.
which were for the most part all good, except for Rise of the Darkspark. That one was not very good. But the two War and Fall of Cybertron, those were both great. But it seems like the bulk of Transformers games have been coming out are just like kind of crappy mobile stuff. And then there's that what's that one? Reactivate? That Transformers Reactivate game that they showed off a trailer for like a year ago or something. And it just kind of disappeared, even though a couple toys that are based on that game have been released already. Even though there doesn't seem to be like a set announce or a set release date for it. I don't know. And then, yeah, Micah in the chat's talking about there's some other one that was just announced recently.
Yeah, Transformers Galactic Trials.
Yeah. And
Comes out
that,
in
who's making
October.
that one?
you just
This is-
tell them they're guilty over and over again and drop them into the Sharkticon pit, or
Oh,
This is Outright Games.
that's
that
another
would be
outright
great.
game. So
Yeah.
please don't look forward to it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
we're just getting a lot of beat 'em ups, is what I'm
I
saying.
can't talk my
Or beat 'em
kids into
ups.
watching the animated movie with me, and it makes me sad.
What, the old one?
The original, yeah.
Kids aren't going to care about that movie.
I still
They
want
don't-
them to watch it with me.
They don't know those characters.
So
They're not going to feel sadness when Optimus Prime dies.
Okay.
You know, they don't.
Do they have to though? Like,
Yeah, I don't really care how they feel. I just want someone to
No.
watch it with me.
yeah. You're going to use them as emotional support for when you're the one.
Oh, I
crying
see.
At the end, yeah.
Someone hold me at the end.
Well, not at the end.
Prime dies in like the first 15 minutes of that movie.
Oh, does he? Oh, I haven't watched it in a while.
Oh yeah, it's quick. They get rid of the original cast
They
pretty
get
quickly.
rid of the old toys
Yeah,
pretty fast.
they get the new product. I mean,
Yeah.
characters into the spotlight right quick. Yeah.
I see. Well,
Yeah.
we got another game drop for Nintendo Switch Online. This one of GBA games. We got the first 3 Starfy games that were never released in the
Never
US
came here.
or
Yeah.
outside Japan. We got those on the GBA application for NSO. So that's
That is
part of
rad.
this. Super rad. Those games never came out. The only Starfy we got was on the DS, and I never understood that because the Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance games are quite good.
They're good.
Yeah,
I did play the DS game when it was released here.
yeah,
And
me too.
I loved it.
Mhm.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, and the GBA games are great too.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to have those here. So
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the first one and quite enjoyed it. And I have absolutely no idea why those games did not come out here.
Because they weren't Mario.
I mean, a lot
Kirby.
of GBA
Yeah,
games
they
that
were
were
releasing a lot of stuff
Yeah.
on GBA like that.
I know
that
you're
platform
right.
was really
Yeah.
popular for a
I
while
know
there.
it's a strange omission.
I don't get
that
it.
They didn't even get released in Europe in
Mm.
English or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, because occasionally that would happen.
Yeah,
they're-
like Kururin and the Tingle accounting
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but not Starfy. Starfy was stuck
Yeah.
in Japan, but not anymore.
Nope.
Yeah. So fire up
Very
your
excited.
Nintendo Switch Online GBA app to grab those. Yeah, they're good titles.
Yes.
Speaking of Nintendo, did you see the teaser that they dropped?
Oh,
The Emio teaser.
Yeah, I have since you added it to the outline.
Oh, okay. It's only like a 15-second thing, so it's
Yeah.
not long.
I
This
did.
apparently is a Nintendo first-party title. And yeah, they dropped this with really no explanation whatsoever. It's just a human with a bag, like a paper bag over their head, and it changes expressions during the trailer as well. And it's just kind of standing there, very Blair Witchy.
Yeah.
So sort of distorted
sort of-
video.
Some sort of creepy pasta game.
Some sort of creepypasta thing, possibly. But yeah, no explanation. Just that it's rated M for mature. And there you have it.
Yep.
The rumor is that Bloober Team is making some kind of horror game with Nintendo. This might be that.
Okay.
People don't know what that could be. But Nintendo making a horror game. Yeah. What do you think about that? Making an M-rated horror title.
I mean, did they do that on GameCube?
You mean Eternal Darkness?
That's
I thought
yeah.
that was rated T.
Was it?
I don't know. Was it?
Phil's off to do his research.
Eternal Darkness video game.
Yeah, I don't have a strong thought about it. The trailer, there's not much to talk about with that trailer. It's literally a
No.
picture of somebody wearing a paper bag over their head. Like,
Rated M for animated blood and gore and animated violence.
There you go. There you go.
So
Yeah. So this will be the second time they've released. Well, I guess they did do the what is that series with the camera that I'm not remembering?
Fatal Frame?
Fatal Frame.
That series
That's
with
one.
the camera.
Yeah, Fatal
What
Frame.
is that series?
Yeah, Mike had just
Camera.
mentioned that in the chat. Fatal Frame. Yes.
there you
But
go.
who knows what this MEO thing is there's a bit of kanji shown there that it means the smiling man. So we'll see what that is whenever this actually gets announced. We'll see.
By the way, if you haven't played the Fatal Frame games,
Yeah.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Weren't those
saying.
originally Tecmo games?
I believe so.
I think it's called Temco.
Yeah. Get it right.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing
Yeah.
us.
Ninja
Yeah.
Gaiden.
You're
The
embarrassing
Ninja Garden.
Koei Con.
I did hear somebody on a podcast called
Ninja
Ninja Gaiden.
Garden.
Ninja Gaiden recently. It was like,
Oh, really? Ninja Gaiden?
yeah.
I mean, we all
did.
did
Oh,
back
everybody
in the
called it
day.
Ninja Gaiden. That's
Yeah.
because that's how you would pronounce that word if it was an English word.
I like Ninja Gaiden way more
right.
than No Bunga's Ambition.
Yep.
Yes. Well, keep it on the Switch here. It is official. The Switch has no Nintendo console has lasted as long as the Switch without being replaced. And this is the timeline for the between the Famicom and the Super Famicom is the previous like longest amount of time that a Nintendo console has gone without being replaced, and now the Switch has eclipsed that. So
It just doesn't feel like it's been that long. I don't know. My whole life is speeding up. I hate this.
I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Okay.
We're feeling old.
Switch 2 next year.
I mean, they've got to, right?
I feel so.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, that's it for the news. Now we shall stroll on into what you've been playing. Phil,
Oh, boy.
you want to tell us about
Stroll,
video
stroll,
games you've been playing?
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't played too much this week. I've been too busy assembling my new digs.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even get to play that much of my beloved Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
It's Yakety Yakuza.
Just played a little bit.
Yeah.
Didn't even progress the plot. I was just doing side quest stuff.
Well, of course.
Just running around,
Yeah.
hopping around town, doing a little side quest stuff, having fun with that. Played a little Starfy 1.
Yeah.
I obviously understand why they didn't, but it would have been nice if they had translated it. Because there's a lot of text in those games.
There is. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with my phone and Google Translate, holding it up just to make sure that I'm understanding everything I'm supposed to do.
That's funny.
Probably not necessary, but
There are probably a game facts out there, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
The Starfy games. I'm
I'm
sure.
sure.
there are. Yeah.
But again, I have a little device that I keep in my pocket that can just automatically translate things for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
How mind blowing is that, by the way?
Right?
I love it.
Take that. Not even all the other crap on your phone.
I muddled my way through so many Japanese RPGs.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Like just without even before game facts, right? Yeah. Just like I'll just press every button until something happens.
Yep. Go give yourself Google Translate in like 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Blow your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just incredible. Holy cow.
For sure.
But yeah, like I said, I get why they didn't translate anything. It'd be neat if they did.
Yeah, it would be.
Tell you what,
some games
Nintendo.
like that Kirby Superstar Stacker that was shown in English at an E3.
But, oh, yeah, that's right.
If an English translation existed at one time, why not just release that?
I mean, maybe it doesn't exist anymore.
Maybe it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Nintendo, you put all the Starfy games in a collection, put them in English, I'll buy them.
Yeah,
I'll buy them.
I would too. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, they've done that with, they have done some surprising re-releases in English, what with the Famicom Detective Club.
Yeah, seriously.
Where nobody would have had that on their bingo card.
No.
Right? Like,
No.
Not a thing that was happening. And then with another code recollection, right? They did they did the Japanese sequel that we never got. They put that in English as well for Switch. So More of that would be nice. I mean, obviously, Mother 3. Let's just get it out there.
Are we disappointed that they didn't call it NES Detective Club when they localized it?
No.
So yeah,
because it takes place in Japan. So I mean,
it should have been NES Detective Club.
No,
we all agree.
No,
they could have just changed the setting to like LA.
And those rice balls they're eating are clearly donuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love these donuts.
Jelly filled are my favorite. The other game that I've played this week is, did you see this game? Did you hear about this game? A little something called Cubits Gallery.
I've never heard of this. No.
Cubits Gallery.
What is this?
Is a video game. It was just released on the Nintendo Switch. I think it might also be on Steam.
It looks like it is on Steam. Yeah.
For personal computers.
Oh.
Now this is a Picross game.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a Jupiter, so it's not technically a Picross game because it's not developed by Jupiter. It is a, was it nanograms or whatever they call them? Nanograms?
Yeah.
Whatever the generic term for Picross is. So it's one of those types of games. The gimmick, aside from not playing as well as the Jupiter developed titles,
naturally,
is that you are creating illustrations of classical artwork. I think the premise is like, oh, you're in an art museum and the art has all been turned into cubes or something, and you have to solve puzzles in order to repopulate the museum with these classical works of the artists of yore. And so you solve the little logic puzzles and you recreate some famous and some, not necessarily as famous pieces of art. So it's, it's cute because you're recreating, actual paintings and such. It doesn't play as well as the Jupiter stuff, but that's
to be expected.
To be expected. Weirdly, to be expected. Again, we've discussed this many times. I don't know why
a game like this without
just,
it being
just copy what they're doing.
Well, maybe that's part of it. Maybe they can't copy.
They can't copy like the good controls. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other little thing that kind of bugs me though about this game, at least from what I've played so far, I've just started it, so I've only done like the first maybe dozen or 15 puzzles. So I don't know if this changes once you get deeper into the game and the puzzles become larger in terms of rows and columns.
Mm-hmm.
But at least early on, when you're doing like 10 by 10s, 15 by 15s, you let's say, for example, that you are solving a puzzle of the Mona Lisa. Are you familiar with the painting the Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard of it.
Yes. Leonardo
DiCaprio.
That's the one. You may have seen him in Critters 3.
Yep.
So he painted this fine picture. And let's say we're doing a 10 by 10 of the Mona Lisa. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, what would be amusing is to see how they reduce the Mona Lisa to a 10 by 10 pixel illustration that you would solve, and then
has that not been in one of the Jupiter games?
You know what? I believe
it probably has been.
I believe it has. I think it has. But instead of just doing like you're recreating the Mona Lisa, you solve the puzzle and it just looks like, I'm just looking at like a block of pixels or something. I'm not really seeing what this is supposed to be. And then it kind of fills in with color. And then the the little 10 by 10 frame kind of pans out, and it turns out, oh, you weren't doing like the whole Mona Lisa painting. You were doing like a mountain that's in the background of the painting.
But wait, does that count for the whole thing, or is this
Yes,
like
it
clip
does.
across? Oh,
No,
okay.
it's-
So it's
it-
not like clip across.
No, it's not like clip across.
Oh.
It's just like, oh, you drew a building, and now it pans out, and oh, you can see the whole picture with the building in the background, and it's kind of like, that's not as exciting or as fun or as cute
nope.
as seeing, you know, low res blocky versions of all these famous paintings.
Yeah.
Now again, deeper into the game, when they have a few more pixels to work with, maybe we'll see what they do with that. But as is, it's a very cute concept that is not taken as far as what I would have liked. So,
Okay.
but they still got my money, so.
There you go.
Well,
So
and
they
it's-
don't care.
How
And
much
it's, you know
was it?
what? It's still a
Cheap?
Picross game, so how much
Cheap
can
at
I
least?
complain? You know your boy loves some Picross.
I'm looking at the price. $10.
$10.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's cheaper on Steam.
CJ,
It's $9 on Steam. It's
Oh,
10
is it?
bucks on.
a buck
Yeah.
cheaper on your PC, folks.
It's on sale until later this week. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
CJ, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
I want a better view of your Tetris shirt. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty.
It's
I like
Tetris.
that.
It says Tetris.
It says Tetris. It's in a little T square. The logo
Tetramino. Yeah.
is in cute rainbow colors. It's a Tetramino. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is the official term for a
It
Tetris
is.
piece.
It is. Yeah.
It is the T block, the T Tetramino,
Correct.
the T Tramino. It's the Lee Trevino.
Wow. Fighting golf
Trevino.
suddenly?
Yep. Which leads me into my final game I've been playing this week, Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf for the Nintendo NES Entertainment System.
When's that going to be out on NSO? Need that.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Lee Carvalho's putting challenge.
Yep.
I had to go look up the name.
Oh, how dare you?
I don't remember.
We need that. We need Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road.
Hey, that's a great
Oh,
game.
definitely.
We need all the licensed NES sports games.
Without a doubt.
And I was not saying anything disparaging about Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road, Greg. I would never. I'm just pointing out the NES games licensed by athletes.
Okay.
Greg, you can answer this for me.
Okay.
And I don't mean this to be insulting, so I hope it doesn't come across as such. Not to
Probably
you.
will.
Not to you, Greg. This would
Okay.
not be potentially insulting. Race car drivers
Mm-hmm.
considered athletes?
Yes.
I would imagine they would be,
Yes.
because obviously driving a car of that magnitude would take
A lot of strength.
a lot of strength, a lot of physical
endurance.
prowess.
Yep.
So it was just something that popped in my head just now, and I never really thought about it. But yeah, it makes sense.
I would say, like, if you, I mean, not, well, you should watch this anyway, because it's actually a pretty fascinating series, although it has gotten very reality TV. But Formula One Drive to Survive.
Oh,
I would recommend watching some episodes of that, because you actually see the regimen, a lot of them, the fitness regimen,
yeah?
a lot of them actually go through, and it's pretty intense.
wow.
But yes, I would argue that they are athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. So no argument for me. Hey, speaking of racing, I was watching a very interesting video the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen this video?
Drive to Survive.
It's. I was watching a
4-hour video on the Star Wars Hotel, which, by the way, I finished.
Oh, did you watch that video?
Welcome to 3 months ago,
Did.
Johnston.
I know.
Yeah. Well, now let's
No,
talk.
it
I was
was
going to
only
talk
out-
about Greg's Ridge Racer, but let's talk about this instead.
Yeah.
about
only
that?
out a month ago. What are you talking about? 3 months ago. Yeah,
only
we
been a
watched
month?
it.
God.
My wife and daughter and I watched all 4 hours. We did not expect. I put it on.
Oh,
Yep.
this was a family
This
viewing.
is a family event. Yeah, I put it on just kind of like, oh, what should we watch? I don't know. Let's try this. And then suddenly we're all hooked and watched all the way to the
That's
end.
exactly my experience on that video.
That's hilarious.
I watched
We
it
split
because
it up
I just
over
wanted
multiple
to see.
nights.
I just wanted to see
Oh, yeah.
some footage of the actual interior, and that was all I really wanted.
Yeah.
It's like I can't stop watching this.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a really
pretty
good
great.
video.
Pretty great. Great video.
You should go through some of her back catalog. She's got.
Oh yeah, we started watching the one on Evermore. The
Oh, yes, indeed.
so,
You know what's crazy?
yeah.
If you are a Patreon subscriber of hers, Jenny Nicholson, by the way, is the person to whom we
Yeah.
are referring.
I'll link to this video in the show notes.
She has, I believe, 2 follow-up videos to the Evermore video that are like equally as long.
Oh wow, yeah, because that's like 3 hours long, 4
Yeah.
hours long by itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even if you just pop into the Patreon for a month just to watch a couple of the
Yeah.
Patreon exclusive videos, it is worth it. So, but yeah, there's good stuff
I was very entertained by that.
as well. You
Star Wars
should be.
Hotel video. Yeah.
But no, I was watching Greg's Ridge Racer video, which is officially
Yes.
called. What is it called, Greg?
Racing Evolution: The Rise and Fall of Ridge Racer.
There it is. I haven't finished it yet. I'm about halfway through it,
Nice.
but it's quite good.
It's doing way better than I expected it to.
Well, it should. It is a
It's
very
a fine video.
intricate and thorough breakdown of the much beloved Ridge Racer franchise of
Thank you.
racing games.
Please, if you haven't gone and watched it, do so.
Yes, absolutely.
It will be
Please
linked
do.
in the show notes. Yes.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hmm.
I remember, what was it? Racing Evolution?
Yes, our Racing Evolution.
Yes, which I just always kind of assumed. I didn't realize there was kind of the controversy of, is this or is it not a Ridge Racer game?
Yeah, and see, it's funny because if you go on the Wikipedia page, I remembered that game because I reviewed that game.
Yeah.
And I remembered it being a Ridge Racer game,
So did I.
and I was pretty plugged into that stuff at the time.
Right.
And if you go to the Wikipedia page, it's listed as a Ridge Racer like adjacent
Spin-off.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you really start to go back and look at the way the game was covered, there's a point where it flips, where Namco itself was always mentioning Ridge Racer when they talked about that game, both in interviews and in like ads and everything like that, and then suddenly they weren't.
Oh.
And like I mentioned in the video, there was like a lot of Western reviews constantly said like it's not Ridge Racer 6. It's not Ridge Racer 6. But up until that point, my memory of it is it was being treated like Ridge Racer 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
huh.
Yeah. But yeah, please go watch the video. It took a long time to make. It was like an 18-month thing, but I'm really proud of it because there are a lot of games in there that I didn't even know existed. And Phil, like you're about halfway through.
Right.
That series really sort of dragged along for a while on a lot of tiny platforms and on mobile and everything like that I wasn't really aware of. So I did my best to capture all of it and to give a little bit of analysis on all of it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because doing a video like that, the second half of it started to get pretty depressing.
Oh.
It was just like, oh man, like this was, I mean, there was a time, and I feel like if you weren't there when it happened, it's hard to really understand how important that game and that series was,
Yeah.
and how popular it was. So anyway, I hope I conveyed it. But yeah, thank you very much. It seems to be getting some really great reviews, great traction. I'm super happy about it.
Yeah, I just checked. I'm on the Ridge Racer 7 part.
Okay, yeah. So you're past the best parts.
And by best parts, you mean
Best games.
best games? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's
Oh
all
man,
depression.
I can't wait.
Mm.
Anyway, that's what I've been playing / watching.
I see.
So who's next?
Who's next?
CJ's
Me.
next.
I'm next. I've been playing the Concord beta. Concord, you'll remember from the terrible reveal at the recent State of Play.
This is the we have Guardians of the Galaxy at home.
This is
Yes.
exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah, the game that got just an absolute thrashing on the internet from people who either they thought it was a complete ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy, which that may be true, or people who wanted it to be a single player adventure game and it's not, so they were very disappointed, or people who wanted it to be free to play and it's not, so they're disappointed. Like so much disappointment wrapped up and negativity wrapped up within Concord. But the developer of this game, Firewalk Studios, has a really good pedigree. They're former Bungie devs, former Call of Duty devs, make up this studio. So the game was probably going to be good, right? The gameplay was probably going to be pretty good, even though the internet did its internet thing all over Concord. And so
That sounds awful.
took a big steaming
Sounds so dirty.
crap on it.
Oh my.
So the first beta, there were press previews a couple weeks ago, and those were pretty positive for the most part. And then there's an early access preview beta this weekend, and the public beta is next weekend. So everybody on PC and PlayStation can play it next weekend. So PS Plus members and anyone who pre-ordered it, which includes me, could play it this weekend. So I played a bunch of Concord, and it's a 5v5 team-based shooter, and I was sort of hoping, a lot of people compared it to Overwatch when it got announced. I was actually kind of hoping that it was closer to Overwatch because I really enjoyed the original iteration of Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I played a bunch this weekend, and it sure does remind me a little bit, anyway, of the fun I had in the first couple months of Overwatch, although the gameplay is completely different. In Overwatch, you're escorting a payload. In general, at the beginning of Overwatch, that's what you did. And in this, it's more focused around, the initial mode is either team deathmatch or a take on something from Call of Duty called Kill Confirmed, which is team deathmatch, but when you die, you leave like dog tags in Call of Duty, or you leave a little mark on the battlefield then the team that killed you have to collect to actually get that point for their team. So let's say you get killed and they aren't able to grab your little insignia, then they don't get credit for that kill. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're riveted by the description of a 5v5 online multiplayer game here, but and then of course it has 16 characters, and they're not as clearly divided into different roles as other shooters are. Like, there are your general DPS characters, your support focused characters, your tanks, but there's actually kind of a lot of overlap between each one. And each character has a passive ability that in a very strange system, and this is not explained anywhere in the beta, so people really don't understand what this is. I barely understand what this is. You get the passive ability if you die and then switch to another character. So if you were playing one character, their passive ability is this, and you die and switch to another character, then you get your previous character's passive ability for your new character, and they stack. So if you die multiple times,
they keep stacking.
They stack, yeah. They keep stacking. So
That's
if you
interesting.
continue dying, you get more and more advantages, which is actually kind of cool. Because then
Interesting
it sort of,
idea to balance it.
yeah, balances it a little bit. But the problem, of course, is that people in hero shooters are used to finding one character and maining that character and really only focusing on the one. And whereas this game really wants you, is
Time to
trying
get
to
good.
incentivize you to switch characters
Oh,
and use somebody else. And, you know, that's why a bunch of the characters have healing and support style abilities. And unlike most other shooters, you don't auto heal like in Halo or whatever. You're like your shields go back up, you regain health
Yeah,
if you're
it felt
not.
like Halo was the game where that really started happening all the time.
Yeah, and it was copied, of course, by many shooters. In this one, that doesn't happen. You don't auto regain health. So either a support character gives you health or you have to find health on the map. But the interesting thing is it's not like health packs or something. You run over a health pickup in Concord and it will refill your whole bar, but in sections. They won't do it all at once. But of course, some of the passive abilities for characters is that your health will refill faster. So it gets, yeah, some of those abilities, some of those buffs, yeah, really kind of start to impact the game. The other thing is that characters can lay down physical objects like walls or health spawners or things like that, shields, and those stay on the stage unless the enemy team destroys them. So there's a character named Lark who's like he puts down like spore pods, and these spore pods will buff your teammates, will like enhance your reload or speed you up as you're going through those areas. But if you die and come back as a different character, the spore pods are still there. Or like any health pads you put down are still there, or any like walls that you've put up, those are all still there. So it's an interesting concept. It's a really interesting shooter. You know, I was looking for, I'm a very casual shooter fan. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first few months of Overwatch and then dropped off it completely. I don't play Destiny. I don't play other competitive shooters at all. I like when a shooter allows me to take on a support role or like, you know, hand out healing or buffs or things like that. And this game, I think, plays well into that because you really have to work as a team. Anytime our team was split up and people would go out and lone wolf some combat scenarios, it would not work out well for them. It's like you really have to stick together with the team and kind of roam around the map together. And then you're not going to have too many problems because those character abilities, they really do. Some characters are extremely underpowered for a one-on-one, a 1v1 combat engagement. So
it sounds interesting. I mean, I'll still never play it, but
no,
it does at least sounds like they're finding a creative way for like a little bit of permanence between player deaths
rounds.
and yeah, that's interesting.
It is. I assume it's going to be very divisive as we go into the second week of the beta. People will continue poo-pooing it. It is a slower paced shooter. Like shooters have gotten pretty fast paced, but I'm older. I don't mind a slower paced, more deliberate shooter. Like I think that's fine for
CJ.
For me. That's my speed. Sure. I'm not playing Fortnite to win it, right? To win those victory royales.
CJ's just happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here. I'm having fun.
Just happy to be picked.
It's a game. We're just having fun.
Exactly. It is having a big problem with people quitting out if they're losing.
Oh, well, that's pretty normal, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. The game does not have any penalty currently for like just leaving.
They should fix that.
And it doesn't backfill either. So yeah, kind of a big problem there. So hopefully that'll get addressed. But I thought it was a really interesting shooter. Probably do pretty well on the PlayStation side of things. On the Steam side, I'm not so sure. It's definitely not going to be another Helldivers 2 situation, but I think it's interesting. we'll see how it goes. And yeah, if you enjoy Overwatch or Destiny, I would give Concord a try and be open minded to what it's bringing to the table. It does a lot of different things from what you're used to. Unfortunately, none of that is explained in the game. The game has a how to play section, but it does which references a training mode that is not in the beta. So
wow.
Another problem with this game is that if you download the beta and want to just like learn a character, you have to do it in a live match. You can't go into a training area and just kind of mess around with, okay, what does this character do? What are the attacks? What's the movement like? Yeah, I can't do that at all. You have to do it in a live match, which kind of sucks. Yeah. But anyway, they debuted the first of their little 2-minute vignettes that they're doing. They've got like a year's worth of weekly, or is it monthly, something like that, vignettes that they're going to put out that tell the story of the Concord universe and the crew of
that was
ship,
that was like part of the whole marketing thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
I
it
remember this
really,
now.
the unfortunate thing about that and the unfortunate thing about the reveal is they're kind of plopping you into the middle where they expect you to know these characters and care about them, where you kind of don't at the beginning. Like, it's hard to really start rooting for any of these characters, not knowing anything about who they are or how they met or anything. It's just kind of watching season 6 Frasier and expecting to know that you're never going to see Maris. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
You know.
Absolutely.
But so yeah, it's a little strange, but yeah, we'll see how it goes with this game. But you know what? I'm super excited about that NES Nintendo World Championships game that comes out this week.
Oh, is that this week?
It is.
This week. It's Thursday.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
I got my
You playing
physical edition with all the collector goodie crap in it all pre-ordered. I'm ready to go.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Very, very excited.
Yep.
It's too bad they don't have friends leaderboards on that game. But I don't know if you saw this. They put out an overview video for the NES World Championships game, and they said there are leaderboards based on birth year.
Really?
So you can see how everybody who was born in your birth year.
I like that a lot.
Dude,
Oh,
I heard that and I was like, you know what? If we can't have friend leaderboards, at least put me against everybody who was born in 1977.
that's
right?
hilarious.
I think that's fine.
I wonder
your
what. I wonder what the earliest year that is
That you
going
can
to have
set.
ranked scores.
It'd be easy to go all the way back to like 1900.
So yeah, everybody who's a Player One listener, go back to 1901.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna. That's gonna be.
That'll be the Player One year.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's really funny.
Looking forward to that so very much.
Yeah.
All right, but that's all I've been playing, aside from some Sea of Thieves, of course. But Greg, what do you got for us?
Oh, excuse me, I'm just waking up from the. I
Concord
can only assume we were talking about Yakuza.
No.
Hey,
Okay, not at
now.
all.
What?
I kept that mercifully brief.
You did, and we all thank you.
Yeah.
Hope we didn't lose any more listeners.
Ugh.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, what?
I finished Shining Force 2 this week for the first time ever.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
How about that?
Good job.
That's all I got to say about it.
that's it.
No, I had played it, but I hadn't played it much when it came out 30 years ago. But it was pretty good. I think I liked the first one a lot more, to be honest. The second one was it was a bigger game, and probably a little bit better balanced. But it had two major problems. One was they decided they needed this gigantic overworld where nothing happened because there was no such thing as random battles in that game. So when you had to go from one place to another, you just had to sort of wander around to find like whatever would trigger the next event. And it wasn't always clear, and there was no way to get any kind of hint as far as direction goes. Whereas like in the previous game, they had overworld sections, but they were quite small. Everything was really compact in small chapters and things like that. And then the other thing that I ended up not being too crazy about is that sort of the ultimate weapons that you can get. So in the game, during the game, you can constantly find clumps of mithril, and they're hidden. They're not usually in chests. They're just hidden in the scenery. Like you just go around and you search different spots and like a wall or a bush or something like that, and you get mithril. And they take up until you get the caravan, which is kind of your traveling headquarters. They take up slots in your character's inventory, and each character only has 4 slots in their inventory, and that also has to take care of their weapons and any special items they carry, healing items, that sort of thing. So each character only has 4 slots, and eventually you can just store them when you get the caravan. But probably in the last couple hours of the game, you finally get to a blacksmith that can use the mithril to create weapons. And that's how I believe you get the best weapons in the game, outside of, I think, the main character's, shining sword is the ultimate sword for him. But otherwise, it's all randomized. So you go in and you give a clump of mithril to this blacksmith, and he says, who am I making the weapon for? And you pick a character in your roster, and you have to leave town and come back. And whatever you get, you get one of, I think, 3 weapons for that person, and they're 3 different powers, and it's all randomized. So you can, I don't know, like I ended up, because I was playing it on the Genesis 2, I was like, well, I'll just save spam, and make sure I get the best weapons. I did that even offline, because I was streaming it. I did that offline for a while, for a couple of hours, and it was just taking so long. It was so ridiculous. So it's too bad, because it kind of really lowered my opinion of the game by the end of it. Still really good, and you didn't need any of those weapons, but like by the end of the game, like I had 2. I had a sniper and I forget what the other character's name was, but they both used bow and arrow weapons, right? And I'd gotten like the sort of the ultimate weapon for one of them, and I think I got the weakest of the best group for the other, and it was such a noticeable difference on the damage that they would do, that it was just really frustrating knowing that. But knowing that there's nothing you could really do about it except maybe go and save spam for like an hour to hopefully get the best weapon for this person. So anyway, that kind of, like I said, it kind of took the shine off the game for me. Come on, Phil.
Looked
By force?
shiny.
Did it take the shine off it by force?
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, yeah, but still a good game. Just, and I'm glad I played through it. So this week on Twitch, I'm going to be starting Shining Force CD, which has no overworld. So
No overworld.
Yeah, they're just remakes of the first 2 Game Gear games.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
They are 16-bit remakes of Shining Force Gaiden 1 and 2.
I had no. I believe it's pronounced Gaiden.
Garden, Shining Force Garden 1 and 2.
There we go.
Along with an extra chapter that was only in the Shining Force CD version.
Oh, I had no idea.
So I'm going to start that this week. The other thing that I've been playing is Paper Mario, of course. I just made it to the pros. Blitzville.
Blitzpit.
Yeah, so which means I have Yoshi now.
Glitter Pit.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I have Yoshi now.
Okay. What'd you name it?
Toshi.
Okay.
Toshi the Yoshi.
Toshi the Yoshi. What color is it?
Oh, is that change? I don't really remember.
Apparently there is a difference in color. It's blue?
Really?
So.
Mine was green.
Maybe he's green. I don't know.
It was
pay attention.
Apparently, and I heard this when somebody was playing it on stream, so I don't know how accurate this is. Apparently, like one of your battles, the battle right before you meet that Yoshi,
where you need him, the battle right before you get him,
lose, where it's completely
you have
futile.
To lose.
Yeah, it's a futile
or run
battle.
You can run.
You can run, yeah. Apparently, the amount of time you spend in that battle determines the color of the Yoshi that
Really?
you get. Yeah. So
What
mine
an
was
odd
green.
thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know what those timings are, but yeah.
The this area, it's funny, but it is wearing thin.
It's a slog. It is kind of a
Yeah.
slog. At least they have something. They have a story moment after each battle where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
there's something here to do in between.
The whole
these
idea
battles.
is that there's a bit of a mystery here.
Yeah.
And it's starting to build now, but you got to get through 10 really nothing battles before anything real happens. I mean, halfway through those 10 is when you find the egg that eventually turns into Toshi the Yoshi. But
or Buster.
I assume that's what you named
Mine was
him.
Buster.
Buster.
Yeah.
Buster Poindexter the Yoshi.
I don't know if that was just a default name or what, or if I actually put it in Buster. I don't remember.
Buster sounds like a CJ name.
It
Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like, you can go out and walk around town and talk to the same people over and over again. Sometimes things change. Like there's one point where you go out into the foyer and there's just a huge crowd around. What's his name? Rock Hawk. Yeah. The champion. Anyway, the champion.
Yeah.
And people do say different things. Like there's a reporter out there who won't even talk to you until you get into the major leagues and that sort of thing. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. It's not compelling. So
yeah, that was the slowest part of the game for me, and then everything else after that has been fantastic. But I at least appreciated that they spaced out some story moments in there between the fights.
Yeah.
It wasn't just here's 20 battles consecutively and that's it.
And they committed to the bit for sure.
They sure did.
But they could have easily done 10 battles and it would have been
fine.
the same.
But then you don't get to hear that Game Boy Advance startup sound.
That's true. You don't
hit the tournament board.
Yeah. I was playing it tonight and my son happened to be sitting there watching it because he thought it was kind of a funny premise. And I interacted with the little Game Boy Advance console on the wall, and I excitedly told him, "It's like that's the noise the Game Boy Advance made when you turn it on." He's like, "I don't care. That means nothing to me." I guess I still liked it. Anyway, yeah, that's really all I was playing this week.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedle-a-diddle-a-dee. Oh, tweedle-a-diddle-a-dee. Tweet, 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 tweet.
All right. Let's do this one from listener Maddie, who says, what Nintendo franchise would benefit the most from a mature rating and be developed in-house? I want a Twilight Princess type Zelda with such a rating. A mature rated Zelda. I'm going to say Hamtaro.
Hamtaro.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm over games needing an M rating. Like, I don't need to play mature games. I'm
clearly not.
I'm plenty immature, so.
Oh. I see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A grittier Mario game?
Sure,
Like
why not?
Gritty Mario?
I actually think that whole Zelda Twilight Princess thing would make sense.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to go dark
true.
with that game.
Yeah.
They were.
So, I mean, there was like a little bit of body horror happening there. And,
Yeah.
that would have worked.
Do you think they will ever remake Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in a not like a remaster of the old game sort of way that they did on the 3DS, but here's the story of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but completely redone graphically, even though it's the same concept?
I don't know. I could see maybe them doing Ocarina of Time.
You could see like the concept art and some of the art for Majora's Mask is like super
freaky.
Detailed, super freaky.
Yeah.
You could see them doing something super dark. I mean, Majora's Mask is a pretty dark game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you lads remember back when Capcom released that Final Fight Streetwise game?
Yep. The last
A
Saturn
new,
game.
the new gritty Final Fight game where there was blood and swearing and sex and all those good things, and it was an M-rated experience.
Yeah.
Where we got to go with Urban Champion.
Barf.
Urban Champion Streetwise.
Barf.
Yeah.
Anytime you knock somebody in the manhole, it's just a geyser of blood shoots out.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like knocking somebody into the pit in Army of Darkness.
Army
Yeah, I
of
was just gonna
Darkness,
say the pit witch.
That's so funny.
Fountain of blood starts spraying up,
That's
I think
too
we have a
good.
winner.
and then they start cursing, and
And you know the
Yeah.
old wizard guy was Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld.
Yeah,
is that right?
I do know
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
but you
I
can
had
tell
no
because at
idea.
one point he eats Snickers with a knife and fork.
Hell yeah. You know, you're never going to see Maris in Frasier.
is that right?
Anyway.
God. I never watched that show.
I didn't either.
Yeah. You know, I used to watch it because it was on in syndication like after Seinfeld
No.
on late night TV, like after the news, after the late news and stuff. And I would be going to bed around that time. And I
You
would
just
just
leave it
like,
on.
I'd leave it on. Yeah. I put on the little like sleep timer or whatever, and it would go, the TV would turn off after.
You're the only person I've ever met who used the sleep timer on his television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time.
Wow,
You're just supposed to
I
fall
don't
asleep
anymore
with the
'cause I
TV
don't-
on.
Are you really?
that's what I did.
That's what the
Oh,
cool kids
no,
do.
Sleep timers are the best.
Oh,
I have a podcast player that has sleep timers too. You can put on a podcast.
But
and
then
go to
how
sleep
you?
and-
As a podcaster, that
What?
offends me.
Does it really? Hey, some
You're not
podcasts
listening
are
to what
long.
we say. It's just noise for you.
That's yeah.
Boo! I know that's the majority of people who listen to podcasts. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
should we just make like soothing ocean noises?
That's not soothing
This
at
is
all.
This is the
Not-
worst
not at
ASMR.
all.
Disturbing.
That's not good. It's more Friday the 13th sounds. Yeah. All right, let's do this one.
That one got me.
We already did that one.
Oh.
Are you tired yet?
Oh, yeah.
Me? I'm definitely tired. Let's do this one from hacker alias Mudron. It's not a question, but a comment.
That's Bill.
Bill Mudron.
We like
yeah.
comment. Sure, why
I
not?
think it'll be easier if going forward we just refer to the NES World Championship NES edition as the Wizard instead. As in, y'all's want to order a pizza and play some Wizard tonight,
Yes.
and Yin's done beat my Super Mario 3 score in the Wizard.
Why can I
again.
hear this in Bill's voice?
That's good stuff.
I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, why not? Yeah.
Someone needs to make up a new cover for the physical edition. That's just a reproduction of the Wizard movie poster.
Hell yeah.
Did you see the Wizard in the movie theaters?
Absolutely.
I did not see the Wizard in the movie.
I-
theaters. I didn't see
Strangely
The
enough, I
Wizard
did not
until-
either.
I think I mentioned this on the show. I didn't see the Wizard until it was after 2010. I was on
Oh, really?
What?
episode of Back in My Play, watching it having watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
No, I remember going to see it in the theater. I was so excited for that movie
Yeah, didn't see
because
it.
there's going to have Mario 3 in it.
Mario 3, yeah.
That's true.
Although I believe at that point I'd already played Mario 3 on one of those gray
Play
market
choice.
rental cartridges.
Oh.
No. You could rent them. You at least locally, most of the rental places had Mario 3, the Famicom Mario 3, with
Right.
one of those little adapters with the ribbon on it, so you could pull it back out.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever ran into that kind of thing.
Really? No, they
Really?
were all over the place here.
I think there was a rental store in the Chicago suburbs that had that.
I am willing
I
to
wasn't
bet
a member there.
where I grew up was pretty much a backwater when it came to video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they were all over the place here, you just didn't look very hard, because I guarantee they were all over the place in Chicago.
That could be
The Honeybee
Is that what that was?
adapter.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Let me look that up. But it's like they had them for Mario, and then there was like that gray market 30-in-1 or multiple. I think there were even cartridges with even more games on it, but I always rented it with like the 30-in-1 Famicom game.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh man.
Yeah, it looked like that. That's not exactly what I saw. Oh
Okay.
yeah, with the little and so yeah, it had a little ribbon on it.
Yep.
Because when you plugged it in the NES, if the cartridge came off the adapter would be stuck in the NES.
Yes.
Because it was only the height of another Famicom cartridge, basically. So the ribbon was there, so you could pull the whole thing out by the adapter and not the cartridge.
Yep.
The good old days. Yeah,
The
they were.
things
You're right,
we
Honeybee.
did.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep. Ah.
Man, there they are, right there with a 401 and 190 games in one. I got to order this. I'm not going to order it, but anyway, yeah, that's how I played Mario 3. But I was still excited about that movie. So excited about that movie.
Yeah. Even. And I mean, I went and saw the Super Mario movie on opening day, but
I didn't do that either.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I didn't see
right
the
there.
Super Mario movie until we were roommates.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So weird.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I was at the movie theater on day one for Mario, but even as a kid, I was like, boy, the wizard is too much of a commercial.
Too much of a commercial.
Too much
See,
of a
for
commercial.
me, I was definitely offended by the inaccuracies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I think, isn't there some pretty famous line about Double Dragon in there where it's some kind of strategy for Double Dragon that makes no sense?
I don't know. I know he got like 50,000 points in Double Dragon.
Yeah, and I think there's some sound effects that are wrong, and I was just like, this is stupid.
Were they using the Atari 2600 sound effects?
No, I don't think they did that.
Like every
Well, they still do that.
I mean,
today.
stuff like
movie.
When
stuff
it's supposed
like
to be a
seeing
video game, they show GTA, but it's using like Pac-Man 2600
Right.
sound
Yeah.
effects.
or like I think there were some games that they were playing in the arcade that were just not arcade games. Like,
Oh
I
right.
think Ninja Gaiden might have been one of them. I think Double Dragon, the NES Double Dragon might have been one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still love that movie.
That's great. It's a great movie. It's a fun coming of age romp.
It's a terrible movie. Come on. Come on.
But it's got Mario 3 in it. And
I'm not saying it's not necessarily enjoyable,
Yeah.
but it's not a good movie.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of movies that I saw back in the 80s that I thought were great at the time that are definitely not now.
Yeah.
Like,
So most of them?
Yeah, most of them. Like, what was that movie where they explorers? They build a spaceship out of a tilt-a-whirl
Yep.
thing. Yeah.
I saw that movie on cable back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And like for
I
the
love
first
that movie.
half of the movie,
Yeah.
I was super into it because it was all like them building the ship and trying to figure out how they're going to make their own little spaceship that would get into orbit.
Yeah.
And that part I absolutely loved.
Yes.
But then the second when they actually get into space and they meet like these like chintzy looking aliens,
Yeah.
completely checked out.
Who like could only repeat Jerry Lewis lines or
Oh
whatever
god, is that what it was?
Yeah, they had learned
Ooh.
about Earth culture from TV and movies or radio or some crap like that.
The only thing they
looked
watched
like
was the day the
Cantina
clown
Band.
cried.
They looked like Cantina Band rejects.
That reminds me of that movie for me is The Last Starfighter.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
great movie,
really?
too.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
What are you
but
talking about?
I watched that movie so many times when I was a kid, and I absolutely adored it. I thought
Yeah.
it was the best. It was one
too.
of those movies where
I still
some
watch
channel
it
we
and enjoy
had, some channel we had would play. I want to say probably A&E
Yeah.
played it constantly, along with like Excalibur and Enemy Mine.
Enemy
So I
Mine's
watched
great,
those
too.
movies. So I loved Enemy Mine.
Yeah.
I watched those movies so many times, and then I watched The Last Starfighter. It was on some streaming service. It was fed to me at some point on some streaming service. Like, oh wow, The Last Starfighter. I haven't watched that in so long. It's awful. It's so bad. Like it's so bad.
It's not. No.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh
That's a legitimately good movie.
no, it's not. Go watch it again.
I haven't watched it in years.
You should.
I've watched it fairly recently. I still like it.
I'm content with my
Remembering
memories because I loved it.
It had moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that was on Earth was not bad,
Right.
Yeah.
but everything to do with the aliens in space was
Oh,
terrible.
well, definitely. Zerg
Oh
and the
my God, it
Kodan
was
Armada.
terrible.
I mean, come on.
And the effects, and I'm not even talking about the very sort of early computer generated
Early
graphics,
CG, yeah.
but even like when they blow up the base, oh, it's such a bad
Oh,
miniature. It just looks terrible. It looks
All
so
I know,
bad.
Sure.
all I know is that one scene in that movie when Alex,
Yeah.
the main character's Alex,
Yes.
when Alex is off in space and they leave that little android double,
Yeah.
and there's one scene where because it's like a blank like protoform,
Yes.
and it's slowly changing shape to look like Alex, and there's one scene where it's like hiding under the covers and it pulls the covers off and it's like half formed.
Yeah.
And
I
it
know
is
exactly the scene you're talking about.
It is horrifying.
It looks like Alex at that point looks like one of those squish dolls that when you squish it, the eyes pop out and the ears pop out. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
it was
I remember
just
that.
like
Look exactly like that.
pure nightmare fuel for
It is.
elementary school kids. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
That and Superman 3 when that lady gets turned into a robot.
Oh my God, that scarred me.
Forget it.
I remember that's
Oh,
another
really?
movie that was on in heavy
Oh.
rotation too, and I knew it was a bad movie, but I watched it
Yeah.
constantly. And yeah, that scene where the computer drags her in,
Yeah, she's
and then
she's
she
what
just
she's
gets
a
wrapped up
villain.
in wire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's so freaky.
Yeah, it starts like placing metal plates all over her skin
Over
and
her eyes too. Isn't there one point where a metal plate is like, or she opens her eye and it's supposed to be a metal eye at that point, or something?
yeah, it's like
that?
and they're like glowing or something.
Oh
It's
God,
yeah.
yeah. Little me didn't like that.
Man, back in the early 80s when computers were kind of a new thing
Yeah.
and they were a little bit scary, you know, and you have things like computers dragging people into them and turning them into robots, and that seems like kind of plausible if you're like 7 years old. Ugh.
But you know, now with all that AI technology, it's even more plausible. now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my computer to just wires and cables burst out of it and drag me inside.
Go all Akira Tetsuo.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Now there's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Yeah.
All right.
What were we talking about?
Are we done?
What was this?
I think we're done. M-rated,
Was this all from
M-rated
Bill's
Nintendo.
question?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, let's just call it the
Yeah,
Wizard.
we agree. It should be called The Wizard.
We agree.
Good point, Bill. Thank you.
I can't wait to play the Wizard this week.
Oh, man.
Alrighty.
Yeah?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on social media. That includes X and Threads. Or if you want to contact us via regular old internet site type stuff, you can go to player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen. You'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Twitters, right? No, not Twitters, right? Facebooks, Twitch.televisions.
Yes.
Someplace you can watch us live.
Yeah.
Follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we're doing our next live show. Typically, we record on Sunday evenings at 5:30 a specific time. So join us, won't you? And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. All of our houses need new rooms added to them. Why not? We'll call it a recording studio and write it off on our taxes.
There you go.
Is that, we can do that, right? CJ, I'm not asking you, Greg. You got different.
Sure, why not?
Greg's yelling at someone outside his window.
Yeah.
This is
My
weird.
son just crept up to the open screen beside me and whispered at me.
What did he whisper?
Wow.
I don't even know.
Something eerie?
Something that got him grounded.
I'm watching you, Daddy. I see you when you're sleeping. Like that kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly that.
That's pretty good. No, we use your Patreon funds, of course, to help fund the show and pay for the streaming and all that stuff that you got to do with podcasts. But I'll tell you what, friendos, if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you get special access to a bonus episode. We record it right after this. Every single darn week, we play games, we crack wise, we have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Do we have a game for this week?
Phil.
Boy, it's not sounding like it.
You know.
Oh boy. Well, that's a no if I ever heard one.
Have
Yeah.
something that I think you will enjoy. Maybe not Greg, but you will certainly enjoy it, and I will enjoy it.
Anything that makes Greg unhappy, I enjoy.
Well, from our good friend Hacker Alias Ahind D.
Behind D.
Yes, we have a Jeopardy. This is a Like a Dragon Jeopardy game.
Oh no!
I notice Greg is not laughing.
Oh no!
He does not seem happy.
Unamused.
Unamused Greg right there.
Greg, they're very good games. You must understand.
Yeah.
They're very good games.
Although, if this is about the whole series, I don't know how well I'm
yeah, that's a problem.
doing with this.
That's a problem.
So we'll just have to see.
Because I've played bits and pieces of the other Yakuza games.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance I'm not going to know
Yeah, probably not.
anything that is non-Ichiban related. So
Yeah. Well, we're going to try it anyway.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tune in for that. I know Greg's going to be there
Yep.
having a good time.
Yep. Can't wait.
Yep. I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you head to patreon.com/Greg Sewart to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Villain. If you are a supporter of the $5 variety.
Also cheap.
Good evening, Satan.
How's it going?
Were you a Ridge Racer fan?
Me? Nah, not really.
No?
I played Hooters Road Trip on the PS1.
You too?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Well, that was
They
a
got
Ridge
them
Racer spinoff,
Hooters
though, wasn't it?
girls.
It was an unknown Ridge Racer spinoff.
Was that part of the series? I
No,
didn't really
not
pay much
according to a
attention.
video I just watched.
Oh.
I was just looking forward to the Hooters girls
Oh.
in that game.
Were they there?
Oh, absolutely. They had full motion. Greg, full motion video. Not even like the
FMVs?
Yeah, not even like the polygon, like Laura Croft, and you had to kind of use your imagination because things were all like kind of triangular. No, this is full motion, man. Not since Mortal Kombat and a digitized Sonya have there been sexier vixens on the video screen.
This is getting uncomfortable.
Wow. Yeah, it really is.
I'm plenty comfortable, but then I'm the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Lust, that's one of the big ones. So you
One
can
in 7.
see, yeah, you can see why I would be into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. You get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a weekly vlog series that I do talking about basically all the projects I'm working on. And this week's, there was a lot of exciting stuff to talk about, which I think you should go listen to if you are a supporter. But yes, please consider supporting the show because I still am trying to do things legit by doing things like paying for Adobe licenses and all that other fun stuff. And lately I've been doing a lot of interviews for upcoming shows. I'm very excited about that. I had a couple of really great interviews this week. And because of the wonderful patrons and the funding that they provide, I've been able to pay for some transcription services, which is great because you guys probably both know transcribing an audio interview, if it's an hour and it's an hour long,
just the worst.
Hours of time that I'm saving. Thank you. Thanks to your generous support. So please,
oh my goodness,
supporting the show, and please go check out the Ridge Racer video. It's almost up to 2,000 views right now, which is unheard of for my channel.
Great.
So in like less
deserves
than
more.
2 days. Thank you.
I do not know how much a transcription service costs, but it cannot possibly be enough money.
I was going to say it can't be too much. Yeah.
Transcribing an audio interview is just the worst. Yeah.
And speaking as someone who, and I'm sure we all can, who can type at a pretty good speed.
Right.
I mean, you still can't keep, well, some people can, but yeah, I know I can't keep up with a spoken word.
No, it is no fun.
No, it's the worst. Anyway, yeah, please consider supporting the show.
Absolutely. Is that it?
Cool.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
We good? CJ, we okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. We clear?
We're clear.
Okay. CJ!
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Phil.
Always a pleasure, my dear friend.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Duh, of course. And a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darned one of you. As always, please take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. My goodness. And boy, we hope to see you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.